Welcome once again. My name is Lawrence. So in today's tutorial, we're going to be creating this simple banner design. So let's get into it. First of all, we're going to create a new file. Make sure your dimensions are 1350 by 750, 1350 by 750, and make sure it's in landscape, and make sure your measurement standard is in pixels, and leave these the way they are, and click on create. To click on create, this is what you see. So remember, we're going to add our guide layout, new guide layout, and set it to the same 30 pixels, and we'll click on OK. So the first thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be adding a background color. So I'm going to click on our background. What we're going to do, we're going to come to gradient. Click on gradient. This is the gradient we're going to be using. Just under the blues, we click under here, expand this section. Expand this section and scroll down to the bottom and click on this. You can see there are different options, so you can use the blue you want. I'm going to be using this blue, so we're going to click on radial. Make sure it's in radial, then you click and drag. As you can see, I'm going to click this way and drag, because this way the lighter part is, if you notice, this way the lighter part is. So once I've done that, I'm going to come and draw a rectangle. Draw a rectangle from this point to this point here. So we don't want the radius, so I'm going to remove the radius, eliminate it completely, remove this stroke. I'm going to change the color to bright orange. So this is the color code for the bright orange, FF9600. Click on OK. So once we've done that, I'm going to go back to our move tool. I'm going to expand this shape a bit. Click on Ctrl 0 to fill it to this section. To expand this a bit, hold Shift, click and drag, and hold Shift, click and drag. So click on our tick mark. So once I've added this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a copy of this. So make a click. So you can see this is another copy of it. So try and align it to the bottom part of this design. So after I've aligned it, we'll come to the scroll down to the bottom, hold Shift and bring this inside our background. Then you now hold Ctrl and click and expand this. Take note of the number minus 19.3 degrees. Then you do this to the same thing to the other side. Click and drag. See, let's take it inside a bit. This is minus 25.7. Come to this side and do the same thing again, minus 25.7, and it's equal. So click on our tick mark. What we're going to do, we're going to merge these two groups together. Come here, right click and convert to smart object. So once I've done that, next we're going to be adding our image. So this is our image here. Click and drag it into Photoshop and place it here. So we're going to reduce the size and place one here. Let's reduce it a bit. Click on our tick mark. Then we'll make a copy of it. Make a copy of it. We'll drag this to the side. Then we'll place it behind and reduce the size. And we'll rotate it a bit and drag it out. Let's place one here and arrange this here. So I'm going to add in realistic shadows for this. Click on your rectangle that you created and add a new layer. Then you come to your brush tool. And you come here and you set this and make it go down like this. Click on one of these points to make it look folded as if it's actually a 3D shape. So what you're going to do, you're going to come here and leave it to 100. Then you can see what you're working on. You reduce the size depending on what you want, and you click once. Click and let's make this a 500 and click here. Okay, that's too big. Let's reduce the size to 250, but let's make it a 300. Can tick mark and yeah, reduce this again to 250 and click on this part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here and reduce the opacity from here. So as you can see, looking like actual shadows, so we can click and drag them out to make them look real. Now we can expand them if we want to by resizing it, but we don't want that. Here is okay for us, and click on a tick mark. If you still want to bring down the opacity, you can bring it down a little bit. So once it's satisfied, you come here and you will lock this layer. Lock it, unlock this, and lock this. So we're going to group this together and name it Burger to have a neat layer section. We don't want a very scattered layer section, so we're just going to keep it very clean and simple. So once we're done with that, we're going to start by adding our text. So click on our type tool and type Burgers. Okay, in capital letter, Burgers. So this is what we want. So click on our tick mark. I'm going to leave the file for the font in the description link. So once we're done with that, we're going to change the character and reduce this, increase the size. Let's take it up to a 36 point. Yeah, that's okay. And let's take this to a 25. Okay, no, that's too much. Let's bring it down to 10. Yeah, that's better. So we'll place this here. Then we'll hold Control, click at this point and drag up. So let's go up and click on our tick mark. Then type again. Type hot and delicious. So click on our tick mark again. Reduce the size way down to 14 pixels. So once we have that, we'll click and drag this here. So we're going to change the color to the same color of this, or a warmer color. So we'll drag this down and then let's take it up a bit. And yeah, that's better. So place this up here. So let's select them together and reduce the size a bit, and yeah, that's okay. So you can move them and arrange them. So once I've done with that, we're going to be adding another text. It's just like an info about the text. So you can just click and drag to add a dummy text to our listing. Photoshop fills in with dummy text, as you can see. So this is not the font we want to use, so we'll change the font. Come back to Montserrat. We'll use a Montserrat regular, and we're going to change this to auto. I will change the text size, take it up to an 8 point. Okay, that's too much. Let's take it down to 6 point. Okay, yeah, that's better. So take this up, and let's just leave this part for design. So once you're done with this, just reduce this and click on our tick mark. So this is what we want. Change the text color to a white color and click on OK. So once we're done with that, we're going to be adding some designs to our design. Yeah, some designs to our design. So take this up and take this up a bit. Yeah, so we come to our pen tool here. Let's zoom into this top part here. So we'll click at one point, click another point here, click another point here, and click another point here to join them all together. What we're going to do, we're going to click here and drag here, click here and drag here. Then we'll add a point here. If you notice, you can see the pen will change. You can see a plus at it. So we'll click and add a point and reduce its size like this. You can see, drag it up, click and drag. So you get this. So remove this stroke, come here and remove, change it to a white color. So once we have that, we'll go back to our move tool and we'll drag this here. So let's come to this side and reduce this size and place this here. So I've placed this here. We'll click on our tick mark, make a copy of it, close this, to the Ctrl J, a copy, then you drag it out and J, drag it out, and you can see So we're going to do, we're going to rotate this to match that of the top one. So place one here and click on our tick mark. So we'll be changing the color. Come to your swatches and change the color to the orange color, the brighter one. Yeah. So we'll select these two and come to our layers. Come to our layers. Convert to smart object. So once I've converted to a smart object, we're going to make a copy of it. So we're going to let's delete this. So make a copy. Then we'll click and drag it to the other side and place it here. We'll come to edit, come to transform and flip horizontal. So we'll place this here. So I'm so satisfied with the position. Release it, group them together and zoom out. Lock it also. So once you zoom out, see our design is taking shape already. We're going to be adding remaining details in our design. So next we're going to be adding our phone number. So come and add this contact icon here. Place it here. Reduce the size and drag it and place it at the bottom. Then zoom in. Reduce the size more again. And take it up. No. Plus. So once we're done with that, what we're going to do next is drag this text to the side here a bit. So I'm going to create in a circle. So we'll click on our ellipse tool and hold shift, click and drag to make a perfect cycle. And once we're satisfied with the size, release, remove the stroke from the circle. Remove the stroke. Then we change the fill color to the orange color. So place this here. So place it here. What we're going to do, we're going to place the phone call icon above it. So we'll now reduce the size to make it fit into the circle and position it correctly and click on your tick mark to place it here. See, I've said. So now to be adding our phone number, click on type tool and type out and add our phone number 234 817 069 8283 and make it a bold font because it's our contact. We want people that it would be passing maybe in their cars to be able to see it very clearly and be able to copy the number and make a call. So we're going to make it a Montserrat bold. Then we'll align it down to the bottom here. Align it directly in front of the phone call icon and click on our tick mark. Once we're satisfied with the size and the position, we'll move to the other side. Let's come to the center and add 24/7, 24/7, enter and type hours delivery. So we'll align this here. Now align it to the center. Control A, align to center, both of them. And yeah, that's perfect. So click on our tick mark, go to the next part, and then type order now. So click on our tick mark and position this here. So I'm going to create another shape. Come to our rectangular tool and draw a rectangle with a 30 pixels radius. So make sure it fills this and release it and remove the stroke color and change the fill to the blue color of the background. So once we're satisfied with that, we'll come here and place this here. Then we'll come here and place the rectangle in our layers panel behind the text we created. So try and position it position until you are satisfied with it. And make sure you are using this part as a reference. You can see the distance between here and the circle. So we're going to make sure I usually use that distance. So we'll come back here and go back, shift. Yeah, it's okay now. So we'll click on the text and position it. Position it. And yep, you say okay with that. You can add a guide for your work. Let's drag a line. So make sure that they are all aligned on the same pane. So this is our reference line in the beginning. So we'll drag this and place it here. Go to the next one. And you can see this one is okay here on this side. So we'll zoom out. So zoom out, we're going to add other designs. We're adding this. So drag it into Photoshop and place one here. Drag it over here and place it here. Click on our tick mark, make a copy of it, Ctrl J, click and drag and place one just here. So here you have it. So next we're going to be adding our logo. Zoom in here to this point, zoom into this point here and click on your pen tool and click one point here, click one point, click one point and click the other point. So I'm going to remove this stroke and change the color to the orange color. So once you're done with that, now I'm going to come and start resizing our shape. So come here and start resizing. Place one here, click this point, drag it down, click this point, drag it down here and add a point at the center here and click and drag up. Make it very fine. Then you click a point here and drag, click another point here and drag. So try and position them, make sure it's looking very symmetrical. So drag this here and drag this here. So once you're satisfied with what we're working on, then we'll now click on our move tool and place it here. So you can make a copy of it, make a copy and rotate it and move it a bit and click on our tick mark. Then we're going to make this one behind a white color. Come to your swatches and click white and yeah, that's okay. So we're going to be adding our name, so our company name. So let's add it, context and type K Burgers. So position it very well and click on our tick mark. So come back to your move tool, we'll select the two of these and we'll convert them to a smart object. Convert to smart object and reduce the size and place it here. Tick mark and drag this here. Let's take this up a bit and take this here. So we don't want to go beyond this guideline, so place it directly under this. Control 0. As you can see, our design is taking shape. If we want, we can reduce the size of our logo. So here is it. So next we're going to be adding other designs to this design. So we'll be adding this and this in our design. So just click and drag it into Photoshop. So we're going to place this here. Don't worry about it, we're going to bring it forward and do the same thing for this one. We'll just place this one here. So let's select the two of them, upward, place them here, and you can see, so you can see what the use of this design. So click on the line first and try and rotate it to make it match and rhyme with the design. So take it up, and click on our tick mark. Then for this one, we'll come here, let's select these burgers inside. So once we're done with that, place this here. So we're going to place this here. Let's take it up above the burger. So we're going to be adding a 50% of tag. So click on type 2 and type 50% off. So using our Hey August font, so type it Hey August font, and going to zoom into this part and click on our tick mark. Then we'll come to our character panel here. Then we'll reduce it and bring it down to 6 point inline spacing. So come back to our move tool, change the size, take the size higher a bit, take it a bit higher again, 11, then place it here. Can make it bigger to fill the space that we have there. Also increase this one too. So you can select this here, the 50%, and increase the size differently. Let's make it an 18 point. So click on our tick mark and position this here and Control 0. So you can see it's a very beautiful banner. So last thing we're going to be adding, we're going to be changing the gradient of the background. Let's make it a darker gradient. So click on the background, come to our gradient, and we'll look at this gradient, the specific one. So we'll do the same thing, click and drag from this point, and there you have it. It's very okay. So this is the end of the tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. This is the end of the tutorial. This is the end of the tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.